Hi, and welcome back to Wicked Ones Tarot. My name is Carmen, and today we've got a reading for you about somebody who has been waiting for the right moment. We've got our mermaid cards to help us out, and the other one is light. And I feel with the lighthouse in the background, this is about information that is about to be shared. So we could have someone who feels like now is the right time to provide some background on a family history. We could have somebody who is bringing forth information regarding a scandal, but let's call in spirit with a little bit of wind chimes. And I hope you're having a good day. Happy Friday. Hello, Stephen. If you would like a personal reading, I would love to do one for you. My email address is wickedonestarot@gmail.com. It's in the description box below. And also right below that, you can find out how to become a member of the channel. Thank you to the current members. Let's dive in. We're going to start with the cats rule the earth. What else do we have? Ten of Pentacles, Eight of Swords in the reverse, and the Queen of Cups in the reverse. I think this is a family secret that someone finally feels, for whatever reason, they feel now it's okay to talk about. So we could have somebody that's publishing an autobiography, right? Talking about things that they feel like they can talk about now, maybe because somebody has passed away. My condolences if that's the case. But with the Queen of Cups being in the reverse, this is talking about somebody you didn't necessarily love in, like there might have been a love out of obligation, right? What else? We have the Moon, Five of Swords, and the King of Pentacles. There's a character flaw, something that was hidden about a person that was well regarded, seen as very successful, or like a pillar of the town. But the secret was kept secret because it would have dramatically changed perception of that person, right? Hey, Key Controller, how's it going? Two of Wands, Four of Pentacles, King of Cups. I think we have someone's last will and testament, probably this King of Pentacles, possibly their spouse. But we have someone who I think is revealing details as they pass away. So this Two of Wands comes across as instructions. So here's how I'm dividing up my assets, or here's why I've made the decisions that I've made. But I do feel like this has to do with, I didn't tell anyone about this child that I had, or I didn't tell anyone about this mistake that I made, or I feel like I should correct this. There's something here that is benevolent, but it's like I'm trying to make up for a mistake that I made in my life. I probably shouldn't have kept this a secret. Because I feel like there are children that were publicly claimed and a child that was not. Five of Pentacles in the reverse. Temperance in the reverse. I didn't feel like I could accept you into the fold while I was alive. I felt like it would have been disrespectful, or I didn't feel like I could take the hit to my reputation. I think this is someone saying, I'm leaving some of my estate to this person that none of you really know because I know that they're my child. So the Five of Pentacles is in the reverse because it's like you're being brought into the family, even though I tried to make sure nobody found out you were a part of it. All right. This is the Hocus Pocus. Nice. What else? Five of Lightning, Five of Swords. We just got that. And the Queen of Pumpkins, Queen of Pentacles. Yeah, I think this is money or maybe even property, assets that are being left to somebody that I kept hidden. I didn't want people to know that was my child, or I didn't want people to know that, you know, the rumor was true. This is confirmation, or even like the first time something is being announced. And I feel like it's a will. But Temperance was in the reverse because it's like I knew if I had said something, or if I had, you know, made it clear, that it would have had a damaging effect. We have the Moon and the Three of Potions, or the Three of Cups. Yeah, I think there was a relationship on the side. Did not want to keep this, you know, as secret as long as I did. You know, I think they dealt with some guilt. But it kept getting to that point where I was like, well, if I say something now, then I'll lose this, or this will happen. I think they do feel that's a regret. Like there was time that was lost. Hermit in the reverse. Yeah, I should not have done that. So because I feel guilty, I have to do something benevolent. I have to do something to kind of contradict or counteract what I did. For some of you, this is about an inheritance being disproportionately large for a child that was ignored or cast out or kept secret compared to the children that were, you know, publicly claimed. But there's an effort to make things right with some sort of inheritance. Hey, Redbeard, how are you doing? Chariot in the reverse. And the Nine of Pumpkins, or sorry, the Four of Pumpkins, which is the Four of Pentacles in the reverse. Interesting because two cards up from this, so in the same row, we have the Four of Pentacles in the upright, then it's the Queen of Pentacles, and now we have the Four of Pumpkins, or the Four of Pentacles in the reverse. So I held back from you. I kept you secret. I didn't involve you. Now I feel like I need to extend that olive branch, or, you know, apologize in Benjamins. I mean, I guess it works for some people, maybe not for all, though. I do feel like there's an apology letter for most. Seven of Pumpkins, Seven of Pentacles in the reverse. A regret for not spending time with this person. Page of Candles, or Page of Wands in the reverse. And an apology for keeping the secret from the rest of the family. Six of Pumpkins, or the Six of Pentacles, and the Two of Potions in the reverse. That's the Two of Cups in the reverse. Six of Pentacles can literally be talking about inheritance. It's also quite unusual for the Hermit to have references that are a little bit ghoulish, right? We've got a skeleton crawling up out of the ground. So inheritance that someone is hoping can right the wrong or address the fact that they didn't have a relationship with this person. I didn't know you. And I think that was a regret. This is the Fairy Godmother Oracle. Hello, Bradley. Hello, Illuminati. How are we doing? Nice. Authority. Yeah, this King of Pentacles energy was somebody that was concerned that they would lose what they had built if that secret came out. So the insecurity is tied to, notice there's castles in this insecurity card, and there are castles behind the King of Pentacles. This is like, if I had been honest, I feared that I wouldn't have had as much to leave you. I do feel like that's a little bit of a smoothing over of it, right? I'm trying to say that I chose how to live my life, where I chose to keep this secret because I wanted to be able to give you a great legacy. But let's just pretend that it's not about the fact that I myself want to earn this legacy that maybe they're saying they don't deserve. There is a little bit of ego here, but I think this person has a desire to be seen as charitable, kindness. They want to make sure that they have a certain legacy. All right. This is the Gypsy Oracle. What else do we have? Hello, Lemonade. How are you doing? Cheerfulness in the reverse and falseness. So the King of Pentacles wore a bit of a mask. And after this, I suppose the mask is coming off. Now people are realizing that maybe they weren't that great, or maybe they were seen as having more integrity than they really did. We have room. Ooh. You have room, death, and enemy in the reverse. So there is someone that knew this secret beforehand. Now we come back full circle. Remember we had that waiting card at the beginning? Here's another one. Literally says waiting on it. Waiting for the right moment. So this person basically was waiting until they passed to share a secret. And yes, there is a little bit of ego here. We have the haughtiness card, which talks about, you know, showing off. It's a peacock on the card, right? Fun fact, did you know that they scream? This is the Kipper. So I didn't want everybody to judge me about this thing that I kept secret, which is likely a child. Could be an adult by now, right? But in the inheritance, in the will, we have somebody that is owning that mistake or letting that secret be known. There was a heavier sense of the guilt as this person felt ill or felt like maybe they were not doing so great. Bad health in the reverse, high honor, and courthouse. Yeah, I think we've got a few people. I mean, if this is a child, obviously there would presumably be at least one other person that knows this secret. But there could be a little bit of a circus because people want to get that person's side of the story. They may feel now that they have the permission to share that story. There could be a little bit of a rush to get something like an exclusivity deal, or let's, publish a book about this. But we have somebody that is realizing that the secret is out. They don't have to lie about it anymore. And it's all because there's an inheritance. There's something that officially calls this out and clarifies that the King of Pentacles is related to probably the father of this child. Thoughts in the reverse. There is a complication that was not considered. So the example in my mind is if this King of Pentacles had put together a last will and testament, or maybe even like developed a trust. It's like there's a legal document that did not anticipate a future event. Could be a different marriage, could be other children. There's something here that is a little bit of like a loophole. Distant horizons in the reverse. Yeah, I don't know. There's a possibility there's a legal argument over this. So we could have a bit of a fight over the inheritance. This is the Energy Oracle. Hello, Sean. How are you? Hello, Aqua Beauty. Happy Friday. How are you doing? Blossoming abundance and the woman holding a heart. This is the love that the King of Pentacles felt they should have been able to express, but held themselves back from. But it's like they're taking an espresso shot of it, right? So this is like, I have to show this person that I love them with my offer of inheritance. So there's potentially a large sum of money, and that could explain why there's someone who wants to contest it. This is the Rider-Waite or the Waite-Smith. What else do we have? Let's see if that Six of Pentacles comes out again. Oh, well, I'm glad your weekend's already started. Five of Wands. Ace of Swords. Six of Wands in the reverse. Yeah, there's doubt here. Or an argument over money. This is like, I don't know if I believe this. This is outrageous. I demand like a DNA test, or I demand to know if this document is legitimate. This seems ridiculous. Six of Wands in the reverse. There is some arrogance here. Six of Swords in the reverse. Yeah, there's definitely, ooh, wow. So on the Six of Pentacles, we have the Lovers in the reverse, which is interesting because the Lovers is the sixth card. Well, technically the seventh, but it's numbered six for the major arcana. So we have Six of Wands in the reverse, Six of Swords in the reverse, Six, the Lovers in the reverse, clarifying the Six of Pentacles. Things get bad. We have people who are ready to really get litigious. They want everything. I feel like they're taking issue with the document itself. Queen of Wands in the reverse. Three of Wands. Nine of Swords in the reverse. We could have at least one example here of a child that is not really prepared or interested in taking care of themselves or accountability. So there could be a lot of like hoarding of assets, right? Because I don't want to have a job, or I don't want to, you know, whatever, adult. This Three of Wands is really making me feel like the number 3 is important. It could be 3 children. But there is, I feel more so, this Three of Wands is about an action that's taken, contesting the will. I don't believe this. This doesn't seem like the right accurate document. This is what I have. I don't think this person deserves anything. And with the Nine of Swords in the reverse, this is like, I don't care how much I have to freak out about this. I want everything. That's mine. You can't have that. Star in the reverse. There's that Six of Pentacles. It's in the reverse. Yeah. This is an argument over the inheritance. I don't believe it. That's false. That should be mine. That person's not being authentic or honest. So there's a legal battle over this inheritance. This is the Path of Shadows. Hello, Captcha. How are you doing? I will forever laugh at this card. I'm sorry if it ruins the mood. And I just said this like yesterday or the day before. Show yourself, Banshee. It's the Banshee card. It does not actually say show yourself, Banshee. And I believe that is a quote from Ghost Adventures, I think. But to me, it's like guaranteed to make me laugh because it's so ridiculous. Which makes me feel like whoever is contesting this will is maybe being a little bit laughed at by the judge. Like, no, this is clearly legit, and why are you wasting our time trying to contest this? All I could hear was a warning scream. Ignoring the signs won't make me free. So I do think that whoever is fighting this will is ignoring the advice of their lawyer, who is probably saying this is pretty clearly an accurate document. I think they're being told they cannot contest this or that it won't be successful. Lantern, guidance, illumination, and hope. So they want to know if there's any chance that they're going to win or get more of this inheritance. And I feel like they're being advised, maybe even being told that the lawyer doesn't want to defend them or pursue this. But I feel like they're being told, no, there's clear signs that we would lose this, that this person does have a claim. Evil Queen, where love eludes, fear becomes my throne. What would a rose be without its thorns? Yeah. There's greed that motivates this family member or this other child of the King of Pentacles to fight for the rest of this inheritance or to take something from this love child, this child, oops, that's not the right one. This child that the King of Pentacles has now decided to own. You know, like publicly say that's my child. This is the Voyage of the Soul. What else do we have? Damn it. All right, so we've got intimacy, partnerships, romance, union, and soulmates. So this is, can I say like the nexus of the problem? There was a tryst, there was an affair, maybe a child in the King of Pentacles youth didn't want to tell people about it, and then they got married. But it doesn't get any more obvious than that. Intimacy, and then the card for seed. You know, put two and two together. Yeah. And now we have ascension and lessons. There's a sense that the King of Pentacles walked away from some of the lessons they needed to learn in this life. I believe with the Ascension card, this is more so talking about somebody who has seen more clearly their life from the other side, understood maybe there were things they could have handled better. But I do think that they are getting a bit frustrated that there is somebody contesting. Got vibration and answers. Vortex, buzzing, frequency, mind, reality, energy flow, and clarity, transparency, justification, disclosed, and bare. Why do I feel like this King of Pentacles is looking for a way from the other side to make sure that their wishes are respected? There might be a sternly worded dream message for this Queen of Wands in the reverse. Oddly enough, she's right next to the Evil Queen. For some of you, this doesn't have to be a child of the King of Pentacles. This could be the partner or the spouse. But there is somebody who is contesting it. Four of Cups in the reverse. Seven of Cups, citing some sense of illusion or hoax or fraud. You know, just because you were able to convince the King of Pentacles doesn't mean it's true, that kind of thing. I do feel like there's an attempt to be pretty aggressive up front because maybe they know that they don't have a very strong case. The Tower. High Priestess in the reverse, and Death. Some of this anger that is being routed through contesting the will is anger that probably is actually aimed at this King of Pentacles. So even though the person who is getting this inheritance didn't, like, as far as I can tell, didn't make this choice, right? The King of Pentacles chose how to set up their will. Their anger, this Queen of Wands in the reverse anger, can't be directed at this King of Pentacles in their mind. So they are aiming it at the person who is taking away their inheritance is how they're looking at it. But the truth is they were perhaps not very kind to the King of Pentacles towards the end. Perhaps not faithful, perhaps not interested in being close. Whatever their relationship to the King of Pentacles, there does seem to be some disappointment here and some entitlement. Three of Cups in the reverse. Page of Swords. If the Queen of Wands in the reverse is a partner, I do feel like if there were infidelity on the King of Pentacles side, there were also instances of infidelity on the Queen of Wands side. Judgment in the reverse, Chariot in the reverse. So maybe I can't win. Maybe I will inevitably lose that fight in terms of the inheritance. But if I can at least make it painful or difficult for that person, then I feel like I've won. Pretty petty. Page of Pentacles in the reverse. Make them spend money on, legal. And maybe, just maybe, they'll even give up. So I would say most people that know this Queen of Wands in the reverse don't like the Queen of Wands in the reverse. Eight of Swords in the reverse. But whoever is inheriting this money, I feel like luck is on their side. Temperance in the reverse, because the universe feels like this is what is necessary to make things right. Like it is the King of Pentacles trying to make things right. Let's get a few from What's the News? What else do we have? Swept up, head over heels, falling in love, intense emotion, sipping, nosy, spreading rumors, gossiping, and supersize me, doing too much, excessive, and overindulgence. So the overindulgence is clearly this Queen of Wands in the reverse. I do feel like this is someone who spends a lot of money, somebody who's very self-absorbed, right? Like, look at how much money I spend on myself. But I also think that this individual, the Queen of Wands in the reverse, is probably trying to defame or spread rumors about the person, right? Like, oh, you're not actually related, or this is all, theft, trying to malign the other person. But the reality is the King of Pentacles did have some sort of affair. And I think the King of Pentacles fell in love with that person. For some of you, they may be leaving money to the actual love interest. That might make it a little bit more interesting. We've got Bonnie and Clyde, Ride or Die, Us Against the World, dedicated partnership. Whatever it is, this King of Pentacles is trying to do right by somebody he cares about, that he feels he did not do right by in their life. So primarily because they felt it would really destroy their life if they were honest about it. Were they being a little bit hyperbolic? Possibly. Were they making excuses so they didn't have to do something? Possibly. But they felt very strongly about making things right for this person they loved that they never got to be with, or this person that they loved that was their child. Yeah. I think there was something here that they hid for a long time, and part of the frustration is this Queen of Wands in the reverse is upset at the scandal, perhaps, but also wants the inheritance for themselves. All right, let's get a few from the Situations deck. What else do we have? Hello, Taryn. How are you doing? Oops. Another reference to lust. And there's receipts. So if this person is trying to reverse or like contest the will, it's not going to go well because there's proof. And there's going to be some ups and downs, but I do feel like the wishes of the King of Pentacles they're going to be eventually respected. And it is something that makes a significant difference in the life of their lover or the child. We've got come together, reconciliation, spiritual union, and soul contract. I do feel like the King of Pentacles genuinely loved that person. But the Evil Queen, or the Queen of Wands in the reverse, is set on trying to ruin this plan, or wants to find some technical reason why that inheritance or that will can't be respected. This is the Love Oracle. Can I say hello to Laura? Hello, Laura. We have curse, hex, witchcraft, negative mind, mistakes, misunderstood, victim, lost soul, foundation, established, family, security, second chance, making amends, reconciliation, opportunity, but it's making amends, and running, ghosting, disappearing, invisible. I'm sorry I ran away when I know we could have started a family, or, you know, we'd already started a family. I want to make things right because I know people don't believe you, or you've had to keep this a secret, or you've had to do things on your own. So I'm leaving you this money. But we've got this Evil Queen, Queen of Wands in the reverse energy that is doing everything that they can to make it seem like this is all an illusion or some sort of cruel joke, right? But it's really that Queen of Wands in the reverse is going through a lot. There's a lot of stress, a lot of arguments. I do feel like the negative mind is the part that really applies, but for some of you, there could be some sort of spell work going on here. There's pain that this Queen of Wands in the reverse needs to deal with, and they're taking it out on the person who has inherited from the King of Pentacles. But there is also, I think, some community like shock that this turned out to be true, or that this King of Pentacles does actually have this, you know, other lover, or this perhaps other child. And I think they're about to hear just how in-depth that romance was. It could have spanned a long time. All right, I'm going to leave it there. Did I say hello to everyone? I think I did. Thank you, everyone, for the likes and the subscribes. I sure do appreciate you, and I hope to see you on the next reading. Toodles.